The Giza pyramids don't just reach for the sky. They reach for the sun. As the solar disk rose and set across the desert, its light cut across pyramids, temples, and causeways, creating a stage for royal rituals. The question is, were these alignments intentional, transforming Giza into a solar calendar in stone? The sun in Egyptian religion. In ancient Egypt, the sun was more than light. It was life, rebirth, and proof of divine order. Every day Ra, the sun god, was reborn at dawn, sailed across the sky, and died in the west only to be reborn again the next morning. Pharaohs identified themselves with the sun. Their deaths mirrored sunset, and their tombs became vessels for eternal sunrise. This obsession with the sun makes it almost inevitable that solar cycles would be carved into their greatest monuments. Cardinal alignment and the solar year, as we saw in episode 3. The Great Pyramid is nearly perfectly aligned to the cardinal directions. That precision doesn't just serve star alignments. It also locks the pyramid into the solar calendar. The equinox sun rises directly east and sets directly west, brushing the pyramid faces with symmetrical light. At solstices, the sun veers north or south, producing dramatic shifts in illumination. In other words, the pyramid isn't just pointing to stars, it's tracking the sun's dance across the horizon. Causeways as solar corridors. Each pyramid at Giza connects to the Nile via a valley temple and a long, sloping causeway. These causeways aren't random. Many align with solar events. Kaffa's causeway, for instance, points toward the solstitial sun, creating a built-in marker for seasonal change. As the king's body was carried along the causeway, his journey paralleled the sun's cycle from rising to setting. Menka's causeway may have been designed with similar solar cues in mind. Even if not every alignment is perfect, the overall impression is clear. These were more than roads. They were symbolic solar highways. Temples as stages for the sun, the valley and mortuary temples acted like theaters for this cosmic play. At certain times of the year, sunlight would penetrate temple courts, illuminating statues of the king. Priests could time rituals with these light shows, aligning earthly ceremony with heavenly cycles. This wasn't accidental. Egyptians planned architecture to synchronize with cosmic time. In doing so, they tied the king's eternal life to the sun's eternal rebirth. The Sphinx and the equinox. The Great Sphinx adds another solar layer. Carved from the bedrock, it faces directly east. On equinox mornings, the sun rises exactly between its paws, crowning its head with light. The Sphinx becomes a solar sentinel, greeting the dawn and affirming the pharaoh's place in the cosmic order. Some scholars argue that equinox alignments were symbolic affirmations of balanced day and night, perfectly equal. Maat, embodied in the sky, coincidence or design? Skeptics sometimes ask, could these alignments be coincidence? The answer lies in repetition. When multiple pyramids, causeways, and temples show solar logic across dynasties, coincidence becomes unlikely. Instead, we see a tradition of designing monuments as instruments of cosmic synchronization. Solar symbolism in daily life. The sun also regulated daily life in Egypt. Agricultural calendars depended on solar and stellar events. The Nile flood was heralded by the heliocal rising of Sirius, tied to the solar year. By embedding solar markers in monuments, kings placed themselves at the literal and symbolic center of this life cycle. Ritual reenactments. Imagine standing in Kaffa's Valley Temple at dawn during the solstice. The rising sun floods the causeway with light, priests chant hymns to Ra, and the king's statue glows in gold. This wasn't just ceremony. It was the physical enactment of eternal renewal. Linking the king's fate to the rebirth of the sun, and just like the sun, makes its appearance every day without fail. You can make your appearance on this channel by hitting like and subscribing. Don't let Ra outdo you. There are broader implications. Solar alignments remind us that pyramids were not isolated structures. They were parts of a sacred landscape woven into cosmic cycles. Alignments to equinoxes, solstices, and cardinal directions all ensured that kings didn't just rest in stone. They rose and set forever with the sun. Conclusion: the pyramids, temples, and causeways were solar machines, synchronizing heaven and earth. Their alignments locked Egypt's kings into the eternal rhythm of day and night, life and death, rebirth and renewal. Next time, we leave the sun behind and look north to the imperishable stars that never set, symbols of Pharaoh's unending reign. And remember, all sources for today's episode are acknowledged in the description.